After serving as the voice of the Steelers for 30 seasons, Bill Hillgrove officially announced his retirement from the Steelers broadcast booth. For Hillgrove, broadcasting started here in Pittsburgh when he was a child.
I had a radio station in my bedroom in Garfield. My dad had a wireless mic hooked up to a speaker, and he put a sign on the bedroom door, WHIL, for Hillgrove. The kids would be in my backyard, and I'd be describing their exploits in the athletic world. And so at a pretty young age, I had an inkling as what I wanted to do, but it's really tough to say, this is what I want to be, and then get to be that.
He is such a Pittsburgh guy. As I was saying, he's the Duke of Garfield. Was just kind of one of those well-accepted guys in whatever room he was in.
So I was a disc jockey. I read news at the student station at Duquesne University. I did an opera show, and I stayed versatile. And I was a disc jockey when the boss came to me and said, have you done play-by-play? And I said, at Duquesne University, I did a little high school football and a lot of basketball on the student station. He said, good, we're going to make you the voice of Pitt basketball.
The thing about Billy is par excellence, because what he does, he is able to translate what he's watching in real time into verbiage that everybody loves. He takes you into the moment. The fan that's listening on the radio is getting the picture painted verbally by a guy that's just short of Picasso.
Here comes Miller off the lane, tomahawk in, and he breaks the glass.
After 20 years of announcing for Pitt and 16 years as the sports director at WTAE-TV, Hillgrove's artistry attracted the attention of the Steelers' ownership in 1994.
Tony Quattrini, who later worked for the Steelers, at the time was the sales manager for WTAE Radio. He called me and he said, Mr. Rooney keeps asking for your tape. And I said, I didn't submit a tape. Jack Fleming was a friend of mine and I never gave it a thought. He said, well, he likes your tape because he's using it to compare to other tapes that are being sent in, and the more he hears, the more he likes you. And then I guess about 2 weeks later, I get a call from Tom Donahoe, said, Billy, we had a meeting last night, things are looking good. And I said, my goodness, here I am, a candidate for a job that I didn't seek, but was probably the best thing in the world that ever happened. I guess being in the right place at the right time, that kind of describes my career. My first game in 1974 for Pitt football, Johnny Sauer was the color man, but CBS had him tied up with a preseason game, so they gave me Myron as the color man. And so that was like a premonition of what might happen. And then in 1983, Johnny Sauer had heart problems and the doctors wouldn't clear him, and they gave me Myron as my color man for Pitt.
Myron, it should be a big game for both clubs.
Oh, yes, indeed. Many people are...
That gave me an idea as to what to expect. And, with Myron, he's color with a capital C.
With that, I give you our ambassador of comments, Mr. Myron Cope.
Okay, ambassador comment it is.
And you just have to stay out of his way.
That was a shovel pass, appeared to me, He got the old coal, throw the coal into the bin there, business to Hodge.
It's almost like Abbott and Costello. I was the straight man, and of course he was the funny man. He'd call the house, and my wife would answer, Rose, is Billy there? Myron, let me go check. How'd you know it was me? Oh, come on. He was a pure delight. And it worked a lot of magic for 11 years. So it's been great because I've been able to adjust to whomever is my partner. In the process, I learn a lot from that person. Merle joined the booth, and then, of course, Tunch became the color man after Myron retired, and that's a different approach. He does analysis. And Craig Wolfley in the same category. They taught me that many football games are won up front. If you don't win the battle up front, chances are you're not going to win a football game, and that taught me a lot. But the chemistry, I think it comes naturally, and the more you work together, the easier it is.
It's a wonderful job, and Billy did it better than anybody.
I've always believed that every game takes on its own life. It's almost like a magic carpet ride. Just jump aboard and let the game carry you. Let's face it, you're the eyes of the fan, and the fan who is in his car or her car or listening on the radio at home, they're not at the game. So we try to put them at the game.
You talk about a big play, biggest one of the game right here.
Troy's interception, happened at this end.
Flacco in the gun. He looks, he waits, he throws the pass, and it's intercepted! George Polamalu at the 40, 35-30, blockers at the 25!
Not only a great Steeler moment, it was one of Troy's great moments, and there was never a doubt that he would not stand with a gold coat in Canton, Ohio. And this crowd was in such a frenzy. I felt this whole press box shake. It never happened before and hasn't happened since. I would welcome another moment like that where the whole place shakes, because the Steelers know they're going to the Super Bowl.
Steelers show blitz. They're back. He throws the pass. It's going to be picked off. James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline. 25-30, 35-40. Still on his feet at the 45 and down. No, he's still on his feet. Here comes Harrison jumping over people. To the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown for Pittsburgh. An amazing play.
A crazy play indeed. Certainly was unexpected. James Harrison's not a scat back by any imagination, but he looked like he had performed on the offensive side of the ball as he followed blocking very well and jumped over people and got enough momentum to get into the end zone. So that was remarkable. You could argue that's the greatest play in Super Bowl history. That would be an interesting argument.
43 seconds to go. He scrambles around, throws it back corner of the end zone. Santonio with a touchdown! Santonio Holmes! I don't know how he did it. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie doesn't know how he did it. But they ruled touchdown in the far right corner of the end zone.
That to me was the call in Steelers lore of which I was most proud. I couldn't see his feet. I couldn't even see Santonio, to tell you the truth, because it was the far corner of the end zone. But I trusted the judgment of the official, who couldn't have been more than 5-8 yards away, and he's right on the line, and as soon as his hands came up to his hips, I knew they're going to come all the way up, so I called touchdown, and that's probably one of my proudest moments.
That's how you be great!
If I were to give advice to whomever my successor might be, it would be pay attention to the Steelers Nation. The fans make this all possible, and this fandom, without question, is not only the best in the NFL. In my opinion, it's the best in all of sports. You are the eyes of these people who can't see the game or be at the game. Convey the message. And if it's the standard that I know, it'll be a good message.